Yeah, hi peeps, it's Tess back in the old squat box again. I've been spending the last couple of hours watching the debate by the House of Commons on the Syrian sort of debacle at the moment. Everybody wants to throw missiles. Well, half of them want to throw missiles, half of them don't want to throw missiles. But there's this report saying that the security forces have given this report to the Prime Minister, saying they don't see what Assad had to gain out of launching this gas missile into a city, but they can't come up with any other rational explanation for how that sort of gas got there, other than it was Assad that fired a rocket with a gas tip on it, you know, and you know, gassed his own people. And I'm just thinking, well, how can you not come up with a scenario where he didn't fire the gas? And I'm not even talking about a scenario where it was one of his underlings who took it upon himself to fire a gas missile. It might not have been a gas missile at all. I can think of one scenario where that gas got there without ending up there on the end of a rocket. The one that I was thinking was of a cookhouse. Let's just say the rebels are cooking up sarin gas in one of the rooms in that block of flats, and the rocket hits that block of flats and blows up their sarin gas, you know, establishment, you know, their little chemical factory going on, you know. Well, I guess that would be one way to release sarin gas into the fucking area, wouldn't it? And it wouldn't involve fucking Assad releasing it at all. How do you think we'll find that out? Well, if we wait 2 days, I'm sure that the weapons investigators from the UN who have crawled all over that building will probably be able to come back and say whether or not they found canisters, you know, and you know, lab equipment which points to it actually being produced there in the building. Or they might come back and say we found the kind of remains of rockets which would be what you would use to fire gas into that area. No, there's a lot of people say they can't ascribe blame, but that's one way they'd be able to tell where the gas came from. They might go in there and find out that, well, it was normal rockets that hit the building, but there was gas being stored there in a basement somewhere, you know, which got released. You know what I mean? It may have been a storage facility that was accidentally hit. Who the fuck knows? But until they come back and tell us what they found, we're not going to be able to find out what the delivery system might have been. Okay, they might come out and say, well, we detected the remains of, you know, the breakdown of sarin gas in the area, or some other chemical. Might not be sarin gas, it could be some other chemical, some other nerve agent. But then they might not be able to tell what the delivery system was for it, and only be able to tell us that the gas was used. That is one thing that could happen. But, as I say, they might go in there and be able to tell you what the delivery system for the gas was. Or, as I said, they might be able to come back and say, well, actually, the gas was already on site, and it was an ordinary rocket that hit it and blew it up and released it. So there's other ways that gas could have got there, other than a rocket with the gas on it being fired into the area. And this is why we need to wait for the UN fucking weapons investigators to come back. We need to find out whether or not this really was a gas rocket. Or most probably a gas rocket, because that's what they say in the reports. That's another thing. All these fucking intelligence agencies, so far, I haven't seen any report saying it was definitely this, it was definitely that. I haven't seen any report that the US says where they've heard people on the wire, they've heard people talking on a... Well, where is that information? What, I mean, oh, fuck's sake, they caught that information in the air, man, you know what I mean? The fucking plane, one of the big planes with the round thing on it, going about capturing all the phone fucking calls and all that, and radio calls, and fucking siphoning it all out and all that, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's how you caught it. So you're not fucking protecting, and, you know what I mean? We all know you're flying about in an airplane catching that information, you know what I mean? So, you know, fuck that, just tell us what you fucking heard. Tell us who you heard talking to who, why you think that they did it. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me to have that information and hide it. And then tell people, well, we've got something, but we can't tell you what it is, but it proves that, you know, Assad. Well, fucking tell us what it is. Prove just it was Assad. You know what I mean? It's just shite, man. It's just bullshit, mate, and I just fucking hate all these fucking warmongers all start up saying, oh, it's proven. There's no other way it could have happened. What they mean is they just don't have any fucking kind of, you know, imagination to imagine how stuff could have got there that wasn't in a rocket fired at the place, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, the idea of those people being gassed I find fucking horrendous, especially when it's their own government fucking doing it. If that's the case. And maybe we can't find out for 100% that that is the case or not the case. But I don't see the point in sending these, you know, highly specialised technicians into that area, putting their lives at risk. They've already been shot at once on the way in there, you know, by snipers. Putting their lives at risk to gather that information for us. And then not even wait for them to finish and you know, come to a conclusion and deliver a report. It's as fucking stupid as the fucking war in Iraq, man. You know? The fucking lies that we were told then as well, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people, 2/3 of the British people are unable to accept any fucking kind of, you know, this is the truth, you know. This is what the Secret Service are telling us, and so the Prime Minister decides he's going to join America and fucking launch rockets. It's 2/3 of the people in Britain just don't want to hear it, mate. We don't want to hear it. We want to wait and see what these specialists have got to say. Then we want you to go to the UN. We want you to convince Russia and China to get on board with you and actually come out with some form of world legal document that allows the, you know, forces for the UN, Britain, America, France, Germany, you know, maybe Russia will join in, maybe Russia will force Assad to come to the table and, you know, stop fucking shooting people, whatever, you know. But something has to be done that looks more legal than just fucking America and Britain and France throwing some rockets at Russia and saying, haha, we spanked your bum for you because you used some gas, you know. And then what, just sit back and want to fight for another 2 years, murder another 100,000 people with these tanks and helicopter gunships? I mean, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It doesn't help the Syrian people. And what they're saying is they're using this legal term, you know, humanitarian protection, because a dictator is shooting his own people, except it's only when he gasses them, nobody shoots them. I mean, it just doesn't make any fucking sense, man. It's fucktarded, man. It's fucking fucktarded. Anyway, so there's one way that, you know, it might not be Assad. Somebody could be cooking it up in there, or there could be storage. Assad might have even had fucking stuff stored in a basement or some fucking thing. Who fucking knows? And the people who fired off didn't know that building was going to get hit, didn't know that building even had gas in it. There's a lot of different ways that it could get there, but there's just fucking a couple of them, you know what I mean? Didn't even arrive there in the rocket or the bombshell, was already in the building. You know what I mean? Another way is Assad could have done it. Maybe Assad planted it there and then bombed the fucking building in order to release it. So that's a way it could have got there, that he actually made it get there, but you couldn't prove. You know what I mean? Oh, there's that many fucking... When you just use your imagination, you know what I mean? Be a wee bit Machiavellian in how you would deliver a fucking bomb like that, you know what I mean? I'm sure you can see lots of different ways where that poison could have got there and you couldn't prove it was fired there, you know what I mean? Anyway, swans you fucking bad.